All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to what is now game number 2 of the DreamLeague Season 6 group stage match, Alliance versus Escape Gaming here in this best-of-2 series. So right now we got Alliances up 1-0, and man, was it a dominating victory there in game number 1. Not to really keep pushing the issue, but a quick recap. I think it finished 18-1 in hero kills after about 35 minutes or so. Yes, you heard me right. Escape Gaming only had a 1 hero kill in a 30-plus minute game, but really it was just Alliance. Their matchup just made a lot more sense in the laning phase, specifically at the try versus try lane. Escape Gaming running the triple melee trial lane, Kunkka, Ogremecha, and Alchemist. It simply did not work, and it kind of fell apart from there. So definitely a lot of the draft coming into play in that first game, so not to take too much from it. Obviously, we know Escape Gaming is a much better team than a 1-18 result against a team against Alliance here. But Alliance showing some momentum in what was their first match, actually, of the group stages here of the Dream League. So they are the only undefeated team still in the Dream League that's actually played a match. No, let's not look too much into that there. But the draft is obviously well underway here, so let's get a closer look, see what's going on here. The bans, we had Sand King and Mirana coming out for the side of Alliance. Then we had the Radiant of Wisp and Nyx Assassin. Obviously, Nyx had high impact. Jonas Pan played it very well last game. And Nyx really is just, in general, a popular hero lately on the Dota 2 competitive scene. So taken out there, understandably. Drow first pick. It was actually OD first pick, excuse me. Then they went into Drow Disruptor. They really like the Disruptor over here. Handskin played the Disruptor last game, and they're going to go it once again here. So a hero that he prefers to play, and obviously he's the drafter of the team too, so likes to get up for himself. I've made the comment, I think Disruptor is arguably underrated, it feels like, almost in some ways, but either that or he just simply hasn't played enough. He really just, his skill set seems like it's actually powerful across the board. Solid harassment, solid initiation. Not necessarily initiation, I guess, but solid team fight presence, and of course the gank bringing. The ability to like the glimpse can be fantastic in a lot of ways too, but he doesn't have a solid stun, so maybe that's where he really is lacking, but other than that, pretty good to go. Anyways, Punch then response coming out from Escape Gaming. Now, the next set of bans were the kind of the interesting ones, I thought, too. Omni Knight banned by Alliance. Now, Omni Knight, Omni Knight Pudge, Omni Knight in general can be an annoying hero to deal with, but Omni Knight actually got some significant nerfs in this latest patch that happened earlier today. In 6.88F, excuse me. His Purification, his heal actually got nerfed in the range of it. On top of that, his Repel actually got nerfed by the duration, if I'm not mistaken, as well as the cooldown of the ability. Or maybe it was just the cooldown, but it basically got hit in both of his two powerful abilities there, obviously in the earlier game. So, really throughout the game. So I don't know if the Omni Knight ban was necessarily worth it, it feels like. But again, they want to take away that factor, so they do. Then we had Puck Sniper and then Terrorblade to kind of wrap it all off here. Alliance then goes with a Vengeful Spirit as their third pick. Another very interesting. Look at that aura stacking coming out here between Drow and the Vengeful. So they're really taking advantage of the auras and the team fight component here. Juggernaut then for Escape. We had Faceless Void and then Darkseer. Once again, I'm really liking Alliance's lineup here as far as their team fight potential. Again, the idea of the synergy of the aura stacking, potentially very good. Now, Vengeful, I'm going to assume that's going to be a 5 Vengeful here. Faceless Void very likely in the off lane. Then you got Drow, and now probably going to be looking for their core here, or their one even, with their final pick. But their Coddle ban going to be coming out from Alliance with their final ban, by the way. You do see Escape. They still need that five position support, and they figured Coddle would have been a good option for them. So want to take away that solid counter push that he brings, mobility in general, and also the mana leak could, of course, be annoying. Now, speaking of nerfs, obviously he got nerfed a little bit in the previous patch even, in 6.88E with that mana leak, but still definitely can be annoying to deal with. So they just take him out. Now the final ban coming out for Escape. Again, looking more likely towards to be that one position. So if there's anything that they feel like is still going to be potentially good for that. They actually banned the Quap right here. So I guess I'm wrong on that. I guess Drow could be either in that 1 or 2, depending what they're comfortable with. So they banned what ideally would have been more of the 2 of the Quap here. take away from Alliance. And I mean, Quap definitely would have been a solid, finishing pick. Definitely takes the synergy of the Drow Ranger with that aura, as well as has a great team fight presence and a great follow-up to the Faceless Void Chronosphere with that scream of her. So actually, that band does make sense from Escape Gaming. Another final pick, again, more of the support options. Shadow Demon still on the board. Now, obviously, speaking of nerfs, he did take a little bit more of a nerf in these last couple of patches. He's got nerfed. So maybe we're starting to kind of see a little bit of a shift lately in the idea that Shadow Demon isn't as powerful anymore. But Lion is going to come out with that fifth and final pick, meanwhile, for Escape Gaming over here. So they get more of a control kind of support, obviously, with the burst potential as well, with that finger of death of his. So
5 seconds remaining.
they wanted a little bit more locked in. I mean, look at the lineup overall. I don't know if they're necessarily lacking. I guess so. They didn't really have the greatest lead stun. Obviously, OD does have that imprisonment, but having some good follow-up or some setup for that, too, is actually pretty nice. So, Lion pick, solid pick here for Escape. And now Alliance looking for their final pick. So, going to told Invoker here could be a possibility. I guess there is no bans on Invoker, so sure, that could definitely be a possibility. Weaver could also be a possibility here for Alliance, and in fact, it's what they go with in the end. So, it is going to be the Weaver as that one. Drow's actually being played with a load. I apologize there. So, really, Weaver middle. Is that usual? I feel like, again, we don't see a lot of Weaver, but I thought we were expecting to be more in that one of that short lane even, but I could perhaps be completely wrong on that once again. That's the risk I take with doing some of these solo casts here. Kind of in the learning process still. Anyway, so it is going to be Limp playing the Weaver here, and again, Loda on that Drow Ranger, but lo and behold, another hero that obviously benefits from the idea of the Drow Ranger here, and assisting with push in general too, and overall a solid pick, having that ability to ultimate and recover after some upfront bursts is a nice potential as well on top of that. So here we go. Game number 2. Again, Alliance up 1-0, a statement game there in game number 1. So we'll see how Alliance rolls on with the momentum now. We're more so how Escape Gaming responds. Again, this is a team that has been getting a lot of praise for good reason, being a team that's stuck together post-TI6 with their full roster, and now the undefeated start here in the Dream League up until the previous match. And into the laning phase we go. See, the early war gets down up here by the Darkseer. So Keizu. And we playing that Darkseer. Again, Darkseer not a hero that we've seen lately a whole lot of on the competitive scene.
"30 seconds to battle."
Surge plus Sukuchi. Yeah, both teams definitely have that jet ability, don't they? That's something else about last game, too. Yeah, Lions they did get both bounty runes last game, and again, they dominated us. I'm not saying that's a result of that, but yeah, the double bounty rune seems like it does help some momentum early on. All right, so Limp here again, on that Weaver here in the middle. Going to be matched up against the OD. That's something else, too. Yeah, Juggernaut being played as the core here, the one that is, for Escape. So another case of error, playing that short lane here, the one. And this time it's going to be much different. Yapster's, by the way, off the bat, really boxing out Limp here, using that rot of his standing in front of him. So simply some early harassment. But obviously Weaver's aware that doesn't have the hook as a result, so be worried about pulled in there. But yeah, Era should be a much, much, much more cleaner game for him compared to his 0-4-0 start last game at Alchemist. Handskin puts down the kinetic field. Got a little bit scary right there, but he's fine. Did place a sentry ward right before he got chased away. If he's seen doing so, and if so, is that necessarily the biggest deal? Yapser, smelling all over, rotting all over. Continues to apply some harassment to Limp right here. But the Sakuchi away. Sakuchi. Shakuchi. It's a fun name to say. Shakuchi. And he'll be fine. Yeah, Weaver not one that I've gotten too many chances to actually cast yet. In fact, I don't think I've actually casted a game with a Weaver in it. Obviously, I'm somewhat familiar with the hero, but curious to see how it performs this time around. Getting in the hands of Limp here. You see so far, though, Escape, though, across the board when it comes to the creep score. Looking pretty strong start. Yapsor does have a hook now. He's level 2. But no chance to use it right there. Picks the haste. Actually gets or that's the Ion Shell. I thought it got surged as well. I was like, well, what's the point of that? Ion Shell on top of that. So he's going in, trying to make a play. At least harass a little bit. Especially with the haste. Doesn't get the hook on EGM, but not really going to get the most follow-up. In fact, he is going to be fine. Makes it through the kinetic field without getting trapped in there. I mean, Drow was ready to assist as well. So with that haste, though, I feel like Yapser still would have been fine, even if he got caught in the kinetic field. Bottom lane, seems like Jonas Fan actually doing pretty well. He's 12-2 against now a 12-3 Juggernaut. So another performance by Jonas Fan in the 1v1 matchup, really. You do have Lion, I guess he's kind of been nearby, and he's heading back over right now. So that's something else that he's had to deal with. Let's do a pull here. Gonna help deny the creep wave. Well played by Jonas Fan. And he'll pull it back to the lane. Or the tower, even. Limp. Sakuchi in. Getting a little bit lower, but still feeling confident that he's fine. Doesn't have any region on him currently. I gotta assume, though, the bottle. Yep, bottle's coming out here, however. 4-minute rune not here just yet, as still about 30 more seconds. Oh, Pudge is coming in. This is actually trouble for Limp right here, and he goes down. I mean, he saw Yapster all of a sudden just walking up, activates a rod. It's like he didn't have Shakuchi up. Without Shakuchi, he wasn't getting away. Obviously, time-lapse not the case either, and not being level 6, so no chance, really. So the aggressive play there of Limp actually backfires, and that's also the first blood on top of that. So got to feel good if you're Escape here again, and they do have the OD again in the hands of Quick Fun. Like I said, last game he actually also got off to a pretty good start. It's just the team around him wasn't necessarily doing so well, and it kind of just fell apart. But this time around, it seemed like the pace of the game is obviously much different here. And Quick loving the fact he got that first blood there. Make sure that he actually got it there. Dark's here, 20-0 here at the top lane, so both offlaners are actually doing decent compared to him and the Juggernaut. As here comes Pudge. Gotta think he was spotted, though. Yeah, they're pinging over. He's definitely spotted by the Observer Ward over here. So Loto playing it very safe. He has Disruptor nearby, but that's basically it. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Faceless Void picks up the kill on a Juggernaut. Looks like got some assistance from the Vengeful Spirit right here, so unfortunately missing that action. I'm watching what I thought was going to be potential action up here. Obviously not in the end. But that's a very big pick on a Juggernaut. Well played. A good rotation from the Vengeful even. Coming out. Up top lane definitely got some action, however. Silence going out. Punch, kinetic field. No, does not get caught in it. He still might be in trouble, though. The Q of hands getting up there, but he commits suicide just before the last tick, so gets away. Keizu, meanwhile, he surges on out of there, and he will be fine. As he's some regen, so game going to pause here in the meantime, but not too shabby of an escape here for Escape. I just realized what I said there. Didn't even mean to. We are good to go. But yeah, still remains 1-1 because the suicide there of Pudge, so frustrating at times. I mean, in that case, that was more of just he actually timed that pretty well. Well played by him. But the worst is when you're chasing them down and they got that activated and they just happen to suicide on that random tick. Vengeful, speaking of suiciding, he's like, I'm going to follow suit. No longer for this world. 6-minute rune. Cinderin will gladly control that. Well played there. You do see Weaver again, still not level 6 either. So OD having a fantastic time now here in the middle lane. 40-11 compared to a 24-3 Weaver. Again, it was still a win for OD against a Shadow Fiend last game, but not this dominating. It seems like Limp is not having as successful of a game here. Yeah, it does feel like also that this matchup in general, I mean, a lot of matchups against OD are always going to be, not the greatest. Now, he did get that nerf. I think it was -6 base damage. That just happened in the patch here today, but still, I mean, the hero is just so strong. That Astral Imprisonment harassment. And, of course, the Samsara on top of that. So, top lane, Loda. Silence comes out, but it does not silence the Pudge. And the hook follows up, and down he goes. So, he hit 2 of the 3 targets, but he could not hit the 3rd. They spread out pretty well. And he's good. Or they're good, that is. So, solid pick on Loda. But here's a response chance. Out comes the glimpse, but it's not going to matter. Casey's just way too quick right there, and he easily runs away before the kinetic field once again closes. So we've seen Hanskin now try several times to land this kinetic field, and seems like he's just coming up short each and every time. What is a full? How long does it? It takes like a 1.5, 1.2 seconds. And at this level of play, the players are basically anticipating it. Change over to the net worth tab here. Again, keep saying the same thing I feel like, but OD continuing to look very strong here early on. Has Pudge sitting on nearby yet again. Has that wind lace now picked up. Limp takes the Haitian. I'll quickly run back towards the middle. It does have the time lapse now, so can feel a little more comfortable about making some plays here. We're standing in the lane a little bit stronger. Oh, it gets hooked. We're going to have to use it, I was going to say. And that's why. So, good combination. Pudge with the OD. Clearly easy setup for that hook. But when that's on cooldown, obviously Limp does not feel nearly as comfortable. Vengeful just charging in. He's going to get imprisoned right here. I think he's not going to get hooked because the angle's not the easiest. So yeah, he'll be fine, but EGM almost baiting it out, felt like there. Lotus Farm, obviously that death kind of slowed him a bit. Does have 3,300 gold net worth though, so not the worst. Is going to attempt to do some ancients here in the meantime. Oh, Yapzor, he's got a hook, has the ward down. Now there is a sentry ward that's going to spot this observer ward. There's the hook, and it hits Loda though. Loda's in trouble. He throws out the gust, but Roshan assisting damage on top of that. Loda's going to fall right here. Am I? They didn't have vision up here, so yeah, they could not see the ward. So the hook just comes through, and then Pudge will kill himself by Roshan.
Dire's top tower is under
There's the... Wait, what? Oh, that's their own observer ward? They just placed another sentry? No, that's an observer. Okay. So, I thought they faced a second sentry for a second. Anyways, couldn't see it up there. So did not get the information that they were being seen as Faceless Void gets picked off bottom lane. That's to a solo Lion, a main support Lion that is, using that finger of death there. So Escape, question was, how are they going to respond, or were they going to be able to respond after that getting dominated in the first game? And the answer is clearly definitely yes. Things are looking much, much better for them this time around. Even Juggernaut, who suffered that death earlier, has recovered pretty well. I just spilled water all over my desk. Vengeful? No, we can't get away. The Kinetic Field, though, will catch Yapzor. Here comes a follow-up from the Weaver. Throws out the bugs, the swarm, that is. And it will be enough for the kill on a Pudge. Come more auto attacks later, so. Well played. I'm going to go get a paper towel real quickly, guys. I just
Dire's top tower
spilled some
is
water
under
on
attack.
my desk. Got a little too excited there.
Dire's
I'll be right back.
structures are fortified. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
All right, I am back. And meanwhile, the wall coming out from the Darkseer right here. The Prism right on top. The kinetic field going to be used. Jonas Fan, though, will walk away. Time walk away, that is. And he'll be good. So no kills actually happening here in the middle lane. Vengeful Spirit, he got very low as we could see, but not low enough.
Dire's middle tower.
So actually Alliance, in a sense, coming through right there. Seems like they're the ones that got caught even. Gonna wall the wall of replica out from Keisu. To not have any deaths from it, it's got to feel fairly good. However, this middle tower now is going to take some heavy pressure here.
Dire's middle tower.
Probably going to be killed. Meanwhile, Jonas Fan in the jungle. He has these Vladimir's offering in the works. Address currently in the stash there, the pattern that is.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Again, a case of the R is always useful to have. Now, only being the only melee, it's a little unfortunate there that he's the only one benefiting from that lifesteal. However, you know, obviously the ranges, they do got those other R's that are benefiting the range, specifically the Drow.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're really just one of these teams that just supports each other across the board. And are they going to attempt Roshan here? Looks like it. Taking advantage of that team support and everything they have. And man, look at Roshan. He is actually dropping quickly. Oh, jeez. EGM gets fairly low right there with the stomp, but he'll be good. Here's a rotation, though. Uh-oh. Pudgy throws out a random hook. He catches a load of all heroes. Oh, no. Kinetic Field comes out. There's a gust away. They do get the Aegis. It's picked up by the Weaver, actually. Keisu in pursuit, though. Has a vacuum. Going to use it right there on Handskin. Has a wall. He's not going to use it yet. See the Thunderstrike coming out from Handskin, but he knows it's basically dead right here. Spin comes out, and he will be successfully killed. So, you know, only losing him after getting Roshan, not the biggest deal in the world. Limp, though, this is going to help they get the kill on the Aegis. Ain't going to happen, however. Time Lapse will make the escape, and he'll be good. So, yeah, I think, I mean, overall, that's actually not too bad for Alliance. Not really bad at all. I mean, considering how that started with the hook onto Loda, if there's any kind of follow-up there, he's probably dead. So, the fact that he got out, they only lose their 5 support. And they get the Aegis now on a Weaver. He stays alive. Jonas Fan, oh no, he leaped right into them. That's a 3-2-2 moment right there if I've ever seen one. Obviously, he does not have the vision we have, but that just still looked a little awkward. So he had a solid farming start when it came to last inning especially, but that death will yet again slow him down a little bit more. Take a look at the charts here. I haven't done so yet for this game. Over 3,000 lead right now for Escape as far as net worth goes. So over 4,000 experience lead. Weaver does have the Dragonlance finished. There's a Flats offering finished on Juggernaut meanwhile. Or Faceless Void, excuse me. Juggernaut does not have a Vlads. He instead has a Yasha and a Phase Boots pickup here. Manta Diffusal, I'm sure, going to be items of choice here. Am I saying Lions or Alliance? What do you mean? I'm saying Alliance. Loda gets hooked. Are you kidding me? He's going to die again. Yapsaur just has Loda's number, man. Oh, that's the third time he's landed just a hook out of nowhere. Now, obviously, the last time he survived it, but 2 other times actually gotten the kill as a result. Cinnamon, meanwhile, caught on the Chronosphere, put under, however. But I don't think he's getting much more out of this. Down goes Lion right there. Meanwhile, Limp The pullback on a Koikfa with the glimpse. The Static Storm on top of that gets the kill. Successful fight for Alliance, it feels like, despite losing Drow. But is it going to get better or worse? We're going to find out. Juggernaut bouncing around. It's going to get worse, it looks like. Down goes the Vengeful. And now the run is on for Alliance. Kinetic Field, though, however, will get the zone. Box him out a little bit. Yapsor, he tries to pour it out. Ain't going to happen. And he will fall. So make it a 3-for-2 exchange in favor of Alliance now. And the chase continues. Keizu, he's on the run with that surge of his. He's got the mech kill, uses it right there. Caught by the kinetic field, though, and he's not getting out of this one now. They're going to maybe kill Casey's surge. Ain't going to work. Stun comes out, and Faceless Void credit for the kill. So when you look at what that being the finish, well, the recap not helping there, but I think it was a 4-for-2 overall. Again, they did lose Drow, but they got 4 kills out of it. So I think Alliance fairly happy with the end result there. So well played, Alliance. I mean, when I say it fast, I can see how it maybe sounds like Alliance. But I am saying Alliance. Alliance. Anyways, top tower. It's going to be, meanwhile, pressured by Alliance. Faceless Void and Limp. There you go. Easy kill in the end. I wonder what we're going to see on Weaver here. Is this going to be a Lincoln's game? I don't know if I've seen that before on the observation I've done of the game that he's happened to be in. I feel like Lincoln's could be all right this game. The Imprisonment, Hudge ulti, Juggernaut Omni. Obviously, Lion has ways to deal with it, but yeah, there's the Perseverance, so feels like that's a possibility here. Loda, Shadowblade finish on him. Meanwhile, his net worth hasn't necessarily been dramatic, but it's also been not too bad. 7,000 now. Considering he's 0-3-2, think they'll take it. They're roaming around with a smoke right here. Kinetic Field does not catch. There's a ward placement, however. Definitely some initiation possibility down here, Koikfa. Oof. Looked like he was ready to go, but it's not going to get a catch. Meanwhile, Limp, the Aegis no longer. So don't have that tool to fight with now. Escape will push the bottom tower. Hurricane Pike, Hunt Out or Devour.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
OD for short. Manta style finished on Juggernaut.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There's an Aether Lens picked up by Pudge. Increase that range of his. Jonas Fan now a Yasha of his own, so really he's coming to fruition here. Early Vlad's has the Yasha. Still pre-20 minutes, really not too bad actually it feels like for the off-lane Faceless Void here. There's a smoke from Escape, 4 heroes in it. Only one not here is that Juggernaut. They're going to wrap around. I see where they're drawing on the map, but unless Vengeful Spirit runs over there right now, no, he's going to start falling back. So, fortunately for Escape, I don't think this smoke is going to get much. Double damage rune will spawn, however, so a little bit of a plus there coming out. We're going to go into the jungle, so maybe still something to be had here, especially if Faceless Void time walks. Oh, time walks backwards, actually. I thought he was going to go into the creep camp there. And that would have been death for him, possibly. But he gets on out of there. So the smoke is unfortunately not a success here for Escape. God, look at that stash of Vengeful, man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's just all filled up of all sorts. EGM needs to finish that magic wand of his. Get that tome. Blink Dagger finished on Era here, so extra mobility for him now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Looks like both teams fairly content on avoiding each other for the time being.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
That damage, though, again, the aura of Drow Ranger.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Assisting so much damage, that with the Vengeful nearby. And you actually do see Vengeful is leveling up that Vengeance aura. Level 3 now.
Bottom tower is under attack.
28% damage bonus in nearby allies. Alliance really trying to bait out here in the middle, but ain't gonna work. So both teams trying to really use their smoke deceptively right there, as you'd expect, but neither one coming through. The game continues to be a little bit of a stalemate here for the time being. What it's going to game number 2. Alliance currently up 1-0 as you see at the top there, in a very dominating first game. Diffusal Blade in the works for Jonathan fan now. To go with that Yasha of his. They're going to sit on the Yasha. I mean, Yasha really is just one of those items that's just, it's such a strong item just even by itself. Obviously the Manta, that much more powerful, but just sitting on a Yasha is not the worst decision ever. Hook! Oh! Man, Pudge has had Yoda's number again throughout this game, but just coming up short right there to the right even. And they're pinging the ward. I assume we're going to see a counter ward coming out here. It's pretty obvious that that is warded, of course, so we'll see a sentry ward go down and eventually take that out here. Another Blink Dagger purchase, this one in the hands of Darkseer now, so the initiation tools are really kicking in here for escape between him and the Juggernaut. You got BKB meanwhile, Koikfa trying to finish that bottom lane. Limp does have the Lincoln Sphere now. Pudge is coming in. There's the Shikuchi, but he'll use it to jet on out of there, so he's fine. Almost level 3 ultimate as well, which means we'll see a 40-second cooldown on that time lapse. It also happens to cost no mana. That's ridiculous, jeez. No mana, 40-second cooldown. Forest Staff finished on Disruptor now. Dang, he's actually had some pretty good farm this game. That with the Arcane Boots, the Urn he has on top of that. Obviously, Vengeful has been playing more of the 5 support here. As there's a Diffusal Blade picked up by Faceless. There's a couple of possibilities with that Diffusal Blade that I could see. I assume it takes off Darkseer's Ion Shield. Ion Shell. I don't see why not. And if it doesn't, oh well. I assume it gets rid of Surge. So almost like, you know, not anti-Darkseer by any means, but fairly decent against him. But then things like the Hex from Lion, you know, you can remove that off a teammate, so.
I'll take that as tribute.
Nice job stealing the Ancients there from Weaver before running elsewhere. As there's the BKB picked up now on OD meanwhile. So yeah, neither team really looking too interested in getting into a fight. Both are very content continuing to farm here, and it does feel like both teams definitely have decent progress as this game moves on and more into the mid game, and you know, eventually that late game stage. Still a bit off of that though. Assume we're gonna have some kind of clash beforehand. Again, Alliance very strong when together with all those auras, but Escape, if they can get some picks, which they definitely have the potential between Pudge and Lion. And that's where their strength will lie. Jonathan fan says, I'm tired of just sitting down here. Ports back to the team, and actually they're going to go right for Roshan. You have Yapster nearby. Is he going to land another random hook on Loda? Oh boy. Oh boy. Loda just loves getting hooked, man. He's going to be swapped out, though, by EGM, and now here we go. Okay, what a vacuum out of the cliff right there. The wall comes out. Handskin, he's running away. Nice job with the static storm, though. On top of that, Chronosphere in the background. The Yaps are going to be finished off. Cinderin, he's also in trouble. He'll go down in a couple of hits. It is a 2-for-2 so far, but the support's down for Alliance, where they're getting cores on the side of Alliance that feels like themselves. However, down goes Jonas a fan, so maybe not so much. And now Limp's trying to get out of here. He did use his time walk, actually. Oh, Sakuchi, but good job with the blink dagger of Era. Goes right to where he was. Another Sakuchi, though. And it seems like Weaver should be able to make his way out of this. Yes. Oh, he could not get caught in time.
Tower is under attack.
Good port coming out from Weaver. The Lincoln Sphere preventing him from getting caught there. The OD tried to trap him, but obviously couldn't at that point. So, I want to say, what, 3 for 3 there. I guess actually pretty even. I mean, both sides losing their 1, 2, or 5, 4, and 3. He says, oh, he missed the gust. Loda completely whiffed the gust right there. Hanskin will at least take the hook, but now Hanskin's in trouble. Hanskin goes down. It does allow Loda to help secure the kill onto the Pudge at least. But Loda completely whiffing that gust right there. Almost got himself killed as a result. Does get his teammate killed in a sense, but EGM, despite his best efforts, unable to swap out Disruptor in time right there. So, nice 1-for-1 exchange. But yeah, both, really the cores on either side actually did remain alive for the most part. I guess it depends on what you consider to be core. Jonas a fan here on the Faceless Void kind of is that, so him dying does hurt Alliance, sure, but the Weaver and the Drow did live. Those are the big targets, I think it's safe to say. Wait, did they get the Aegis? Did I miss that? Oh, so the Aegis was... Oh, it was stolen by Era. Holy crap, I totally missed that throughout all of that. Didn't even... I got so caught up in the fight that was going on. I mean, again, the hook that started it all, and the Drow right there, and then the vacuum onto the cliff and everything. But that's right. Meanwhile, Roshan's dead, and Era's picking up the Aegis. So, actually, Escape definitely winning that fight when you look at it from that perspective.
Time is money.
It is funny kind of hearing Dota 2 casters pronouncing some of these Han player names that I've been pronouncing for so long. I mean, again, I don't even know if I'm necessarily right. It's just how different it can be with some of these players' names, like Jonas and Fan. You guys are suggesting there. That definitely was a Phil Cameron moment. Yeah, I didn't even realize it until like a minute and a half after the fight took place. But Escape Gaming, we'll see if they can make a play with it now. They're getting pretty aggressive here, it feels like. See, look at that ward placed by Cinderin. Definitely not in the typical spots, and not as good a vision necessarily, but still. Less likely to be counted, of course.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
What are we going to see next on Limp right here? Again, with the Lincolns, feels like his farm is kind of slowing down, or does he have something on the Courier? Oh, yeah, he definitely has something on the Courier. Okay. So, he's good to go. That's going to be a Desolator, yeah. I'm going to say, it felt like he was a little cheaper than his net worth is suggesting. So, there's the full Desolator, though, so definitely a solid item. Troy Shoto's fan, oh no, he's in trouble! He's going to get caught by the OD! Somebody, yes, he gets pulled in. And he's going to go down. He just stuck around long enough right there. I wonder if that was the case. Maybe they saw the aura of the Vlads on the creep or something, but they just somehow knew that he was there. And they take him out, so he's now dead for 45 seconds. He actually does not have a buyback. Not that that is necessarily going to be an absolutely huge deal this time, but...
Illusion.
Oh, Limp finds Era at the top. I'm going to see some damage potential out of Weaver right here. Swap back. And Era is going to fall. The Aegis has popped. Are they going to stick around for more? Looks like Disruptor is nearby, but the Blink Dagger away. And Era will be fine in the end. But again, at least they burn the Aegis. Not have to worry about that now. Hook though, hook though, hook though. Mama, the creep just comes before. Oh, yeah, Absol. He's landed some pretty solid hooks this game for sure. That one was actually a very good attempt, but the creep just getting in the way. Now Yapster, obviously he's being spotted this whole time as Limp. Weaver, he got the bug on him, and he's going to go down to the end. OD now sticking around trying to help his teammate out. Now he's being chased back. Limp is just in hot pursuit right here. He still has that time lapse if need be. Crimson Guard is going to be enough to help keep OD alive. At least a good use right there. Meanwhile, over here, though, Air's spinning, but he's caught in the Chronosphere. He's going to get caught. No, the combination of the Static Storm and the Connected Field not enough initially, but the swap from EGM secures the kill onto the Juggernaut. And couple of solid picks for Alliance, that one especially, onto the Juggernaut there. And now making their way towards the middle. Drow, his progression at BKB himself.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Middle tower, first one even still being up, is going to fall here, though.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Limp already has another 2,000 gold saved up even. So look at that net worth. We've gone up and down quite a bit this game so far, but it seems like, once again, going back towards the favor of Alliance here. Only about a 2,000 net worth lead. Experience has actually been in favor of Alliance here now for a little bit, as we see. So very interesting graph, actually. You see the peak that happened here, over 4,000, then Alliance started to climb back into it and eventually take the lead themselves. Casey, meanwhile, it's his turn to hide in the jungle up here. He does have that Crimson Guard, as we saw earlier. Jonas Fan's like, I know you're somewhere around here, though. I smell you. Goes in with the time lock. Oh, there's a surge, and now Casey's on the run. Jonas Fan, Diffusal Blade, though. Does purge him, slowing in. Crimson Guard popped. Mantis Style is the wall. Everything, all the illusions are coming out. And Jonas Fan, actually, he ports out, realizing that, you know what, there's probably support coming. So, did get all the mana used on Darkseer, at least. As well as the burning of the Diffusal. But he was right. Both Lion and Pudge were making their way up here. Jonas Fan. I've always said Jonas Fan with a J. There's a Guardian Greaves finish now on Darkseer. Obviously a fantastic item to have, especially in cases where he may get silenced, such as the, I guess if he gets caught by a Static Storm there, or the Drought Gust especially. Although the Static Storm wouldn't make sense because it's only when you're underneath it, so the initial Purge wouldn't really do anything. Anywho, strong item to have nonetheless. Being that very strong aura support here. Speaking of that, praising Alliance, you know, so much across the board between the talents and the items now. So that's good to see on the side of Escape here. That with the Crimson Guard. Look at Faceless Void in his inventory. There's a BKB now on a Weaver, so Magic Presence not going to be nearly as powerful here for Escape. That means Juggernaut's going to have to be their main source of damage, really, as he kind of expected it to be, but he's still in a spot where he could use a little bit more farm, at least one more item. 3,100 gold saved up on him. He's got a Manta and a Diffusal here, but we'll see if it's something along the lines of the MKB here, a Skull Basher even. Smoke here coming out from Alliance. Not catching anyone, though, so you can tell that Alliance, it feels like, is the one kind of in the control right now of the map, though. I mean, look at the vision here. Very aggressive ward now placed. Just placed here recently. Meanwhile, the vision on the side of Escape, minimal compared. One in their jungle, and that's basically it. They're going to counter ward right here, so well played. As Weaver will kind of poke up a little bit, but can't catch them. Spamming that Sakuchi. Just feel the clash is going to happen any second now. That's smoking to see they're moving in slow. They catch Disruptor. by himself. 4 staff away, though. Static Storm is going to zone out some supports, and the Chronosphere catches a couple. Era and Koikfa. BKB is up, though. Not the most damage fallout. Weaver was caught in the midst of it as well, so an issue. Does pop the time lapse. He'll go back in time and be fine for the time being. Koikfa going to be chased back, though. The bash comes out for Jonas Fan and secures the kill. Limp, meanwhile, he's trying to run this whole time. Drow also on the run. The hook hits by Yapsor, though. And Limp will go down. Big hook from Pudge. Meanwhile, Drow just simply running away. Loda not doing a lot of damage on that fight. It seems like he was playing very defensive for most of it, but Escape definitely did get the jump there. Makes it a 3-for-1. Check and Roshan obviously not up just yet. But the way that fight even started was a little funky. I mean, it's a good 4 staff away initially by Disruptor, and it seemed like that it was kind of zoning out the supports, but I think Weaver also getting caught in the Chronosphere did not help their cause, as the damage output wasn't necessarily the best, and I think Drow was actually elsewhere. I don't know if she was also caught in the Chronosphere or just simply involved in another part of that fight, but the fact that they only got 1 kill out of that seemed a little odd for Alliance. But yeah, the hook from Yapsor was huge. He's definitely reminding me of some big-time hookers from the Han scene. Players, of course, like Super KGE. Seems like Yapsor knows what he's doing on this hero. Always fun to see. Wish there was more hooker heroes in Dota. Was he caught in the Faceless Void Ultimate as well? Okay. So that must have been A. Yeah, it just felt like overall the damage was so weak from Alliance. So that makes sense if both the Weaver and the Drow were caught in that. I definitely saw the Weaver. I see the illusions. Got some illusion wars coming out here on the mini-map. Alliance continues to be the aggressors, though. But man, Juggernaut, okay, what did he buy? Something has to be on the Gory 7 of the shop over here. Oh, he's going the Eye of Scotty here. Interesting. Can't say I expected that. I thought we were just going to see more raw damage coming out from Era right here. Something like that MKB, but he wants the Eye of Scotty, a little more survivability, a little more chase potential. Yapsor, he's in the front here. Going to be spotted by Limp, though, or at least Limp trying to chase in. Yapsor on the cliff, however. He's actually got a decent position. Out comes the Swarm. He's going to miss. Look at Pudge, though. You know he's just waiting for an opportunity. The fact he was able to hide the whole time, somehow that fat ass was not seen. Throws out the hook, but it's not going to connect. Oh, over here. OD actually jumped in. The Hurricane Pike goes off. EGM's the one in trouble. Swaps in. He goes down. There comes the response. Jonas Man, big chance for Chronosphere. He has 3 years. No, he's going to be pulled in, though, by the vacuum. The wall comes out as well. And Jonas Man, the finger of death. He feels the pain, and he goes down limp. Trying to sit there with the auto attacks. He does get the kill onto Kazu, but Arrow, meanwhile, on the run. Healing Ward popped out. They need to kill that. They're putting the damage into Arrow, but the Healing Ward's doing work. Finally, they kill it off. Limp is in chase with Esakuchi. He gets Hex, though. Kinetic Field does help secure a kill in the background onto Line, I believe that was. Arrow, though, the Swarm, he's somehow still alive. Just barely right there, and a big burst from the OD. Gets the kill on a Weaver as well as Disruptor, but at what cost? In comes Jonas Fan and takes out OD with the Chronosphere. Yapsor now gonna get the bash. Yes, he can. It was a second hit bash. Down goes Pudge, a triple kill for Loda. And a 4-for-3 exchange in total. Era barely surviving. I'm so shocked he lived. Gotta say, though, the Eye of Scotty maybe helping with that, just getting that delivered, it looks like. But now this is going to be a Roshan kill on top of that. And we got Cheese as well, so success for Alliance right there in that fight. As you see the net worth. Again, actually slightly, it did bounce in favor of Alliance there for a little bit. It's back in for Escape, but you got to feel, obviously, Alliance feeling very satisfied with the way that fight finished here. There's a gem purchased on the Faceless Void. as he's got 2,600 gold saved up. Loaded now, 3,000 gold saved up. He's the one that picked up the cheese. Wait, so did Faceless Boy get the Aegis? Yes, he did. Okay. So they give it to Faceless here. Weaver dying throughout that, but overall, team success. So he's just fine. OD, meanwhile, we saw that Shiva Scar for a little bit. We seen it use it a couple times. I didn't really mention it, but obviously going to Shivas here. And definitely feels like it makes sense. A team that's doing plenty of physical damage, and Shiva's Guard both helps for that, but also the idea of the attack speed decrease, and just a good follow-up to an initiation with that blink dagger. There's a butterfly finished in full, though, for Drow Ranger. Jeez.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Tower is going to fall here at the top. Weaver taking credit for that, just leading the push. 23 more 100 gold saved up on him. But again, having the Aegis here on Faceless, we'll see what kind of move Alliance does if they make a move. Obviously, both bases are still fine. In fact, both teams still have an outer tower up. At the bottom one here for Alliance. You have the middle one here for Escape. There you go, Jonas Fan and Limp. Uh-oh, they're going to have a clash here. Limp will open up on a center and nearly 3 shots. And Kunis Fields gets his arrow. That's big, but Limp ran into it. Oh, no. They're missing out a lot of damage here as a result. Will it matter? No, it won't. No, they still secure it. I was worried for a second for Alliance's sake that getting caught in that Kunis Field was going to hurt. Was going to not allow them to get the kill onto Juggernaut. But Faceless Void actually did plenty of damage himself. I mean, again, you look at his items here. Makes sense as to why it has an Eagle Song now. Go with the Diffusal Blade and the Manta, so. Now up here, Yapster actually hooks an Handskin, but at what cost? Static Storm comes up. There's the Swarm, though. Swap out from EGM. Don't even know that was necessary. It did help keep Handskin alive, I guess, but they secure the kill after. So Escape really on their back foot now. Despite still having the hero kill lead, technically, gotta think, yeah, no surprise, the net worth chart is once again swung back now of Alliance's favor. Look at that experience, though. It's always been in their favor, really, since about the 20-minute mark or so. And it's the biggest it's been so far. It feels like Alliance is really starting to pull away now. Holy crap, those racks just die quickly. Keizu, he didn't even wall right there. That was a misclick for sure. I'm pretty sure he meant to wall with the vacuum combo. He gets it off after. But Keizu is going to fall with the racks also going down. So very desperate move there on the side of Escape. Buyback situation.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
You see Darkseer does have one, but without his wall, I mean, his presence becomes a lot less effective in these team fights.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
And there goes the bottom rack. So Alliance is really just trying to finish the game right now and right here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
There's the tower, taking some good damage. Lion with the stun. There's a swap into Quick Flood, though. He figures, I got to fight this now. Pops the Chivas. Does have his Ascendancy as a clip still. Meanwhile, the arrow bouncing around with an Omni Slash comes down into the Static Storm. Has to spin away as soon as he gets out of there. Looks like Faceless Void went a little too far. Aegis is going to be popped, going to be hooked back in. And he's going to be locked down by the Pudge, but he has the last laugh because meanwhile Mega Creeps has spawned. Hanskin going to be stopped on his TP attempt. Nice job with the vacuum there, and he too will be picked. But Alliance, again, they really don't care about losing these heroes right here. They just got Mega Creeps. It's now Escape Gaming. They really have one last chance here to make a play. Was that a, well, an Axe picked up by Vengeful, meanwhile. That just reduces, yeah, decreases the cooldown or swap, right? Ridiculous, not only 10-second cooldown. Wait, a Vengeance Illusion? Really? What? That's ridiculous. So it creates an illusion that if she dies, it actually allows her to still use all of her abilities? Holy shit. That's powerful, man. That sounds really powerful. thought it was just simply more along the lines of the cooldown reduction. That's fun.
I'll take that.
This does look dire for the Alliance. Good point. Vengeful. Almost got caught out there. But hey, he has an illusion that spawns now when he dies, so he doesn't really care. Limp. Gonna apply some damage to Quickfa. Don't think he's gonna actually get a kill out of this, but see some good damage coming out. Double attack as well from that. What is that? Geminate attack? I guess it'd be Geminate. I want to see that in play, the illusion created. But yeah, Alliance on the verge of going 2-0 over Escape Gaming here. Escape, a team that went undefeated in their first week last week, being 4-0 coming into this match. It's going to fall to 4-2 now. Again, still in a prime spot here in the earlier part of the DreamLeague regular season, but with the top 4 teams making it on to the DreamHack Finals, of course. This is week 2 of, I want to say, 4 weeks in total. So again, a lot of matches still to be played. But this also has to feel really good for Alliance. I mean, again, just talking about going into the series, how the Doubters, their WESG performance being 3rd place, which is somewhat respectable, but you know, once again, maybe people expected a little bit more out of them at times. And now they're coming into this matchup here against a very skilled Escape Gaming team and definitely somewhat experienced compared to most with their full roster sticking together. They made a statement right away in game number 1, defeating them 18-1. And now game 2, it's been a very back-and-forth battle, but they've also shown that, you know, they're not going to let that phase them. They're not a team that's going to just give in, oh, we're falling behind, let's just throw in the towel. They're going to fight back, and boy, have they. Got a Hurricane Pike now and a Weaver. Let's change it back to the net worth here. There's another Ags. This one picked up a Disruptor, actually. Another one I'm not too familiar with. Oh, that's right, yeah. So it mutes. It actually perplexes now. AKA mutes the items on top of that. So things like BKBs, Ghost Scepter in the case of Pudge. Obviously, that could be very useful for Juggernaut if you can catch him. In fact, you're able to get Ag Scepter on both of your supports. Always fun. Roshan. There we go. The Roshan respawn is real. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Alliance, Aloda. Kind of is, right? Loda is Alliance. No. Alliance here go for Roshan as they do immediately. Loda, the one leading the way, does have that data list, by the way. Now, obviously, these bigger and better items just coming out across the board here for Alliance. They're just going to leave. They don't even care. They're just like, cheese. Who needs it? Just kill it. They'll have a TP than the cheese at this point. I guess Vengeful is going to pick it up. Does have that inventory spot. So, again, this is a case of Escape Gaming. This is it for them today. I don't believe they play another match after this. Let's take a look here real quickly. Yeah, this is it for them today. Alliance is going to be playing Team NP next, actually. Obviously, NP coming off that high of last night, defeating Complexity 3-2 in the Summit 6 qualifiers, North America region, to earn their spot at the Summit 6. So, watched that most of that series, and you know, I gotta say, I felt a little sad for my Complexity boys, but honestly, NP they really are a good team, and they're an interesting team because one, they're a very fun team to watch, very animated, a lot of animated. They're very action-oriented, but at the same time, they're a little YOLO-ish at times. They have that 3-2-2 potential in them. I feel like they're good at getting early leads, but you know, in the mid to late game is where they start to make some moves where it's just like, what were they thinking? And perhaps throw some games away as a result. But if they can really get that figured out, I mean, even without getting that figured out right now, obviously they're qualifying for events like TS6, but get that figured out. That's going to be really a team to reckon with, I feel like, moving forward, especially from the North American scene. But anyways, excited to see them and how they fare against now Alliance, who's obviously going to be coming off a high here as they're on the verge of taking out Escape 2-0. But Escape is definitely fighting to the end, is the point I started with here. They've been having to deal with these mega creeps, and Alliance is just kind of just sitting back, chilling. They know that the creeps are going to basically take care of business for them. So we're not going to totally risk going crazy here, but eventually you figure you kind of have to go in and make a play. I mean, they have the Aegis, they have the cheese. I'm not really sure. They must be waiting for some specific item here on somebody. It's what the hell is going on here? Doing the chicken dance.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
What is he doing? Why is this a thing? Anyways. But here we go. It seems like Alliance is finally set to make a play here. That's an illusion trowel. Trying to bait out something with it. Limp just says he'll destroy your tower. Lincoln's going to be popped, but he has his time lapse still, worst case. So yeah, here we go. It's just finishing the game right here, so Escape's like, wait a second. What can we do? Well, they have to try something. Jump in the background. Limp going at it with Keizu. Meanwhile, OD jumps in with his BKB. Kills Hanskin, actually, but now Loda's just in there turning. Does get locked down, however, despite his BKB, and Loda's actually going to be picked off right there. Meanwhile, EGM in the background, he's going right for the Ancient here. And Josephine is as well. So they're kind of distracting elsewhere. Obviously, I mean, that was just a lost cause, really, for Escape at that point. And that's going to do it. Alliance will defeat Escape Gaming 2-0 here in this 2-game series. And they start off the group stages now of the DreamLeague Season 6 2-0. So, well played by Alliance. And once again, that has to feel good for them. As far as Escape goes, again, still not the worst case for them ever. They're now 4-2 here in the group stages. Like you keep going back to, still plenty of matches to be played. In fact, so you play, there's 7 matches, so you play 14 matches in total. So they've only played 6 of 14 matches as Escape Gaming. So being a 4-2 record, I think still very satisfying where they're at. But Alliance Gaming does have the victory here, and again, feeling good. They're going to be playing Team NP next, as I was talking about there. I don't know if I'm going to be casting that, to be honest. Kind of in the mood to play some Dota 2, but let me wrap this up real quickly. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, especially if you're tuning in on YouTube here. So, once again, my name is Breaky CPK. You can check me out on my YouTube or my Twitch channel, also my social media at Facebook and Twitter. And I look forward to more of these casts to come. Especially stuff like this. Really excited to be getting into the season here for Dota 2 and